It's been a while since I recorded something. Sorry about that. I've been completely obsessed with with Tears of the Kingdom. I've been playing it, feels like nonstop since it came out. Well, I guess I was a week late because I was doing stuff. But since I got it, I've been playing it like nonstop. All the game is wonderful. It's a great sequel to Breath of the Wild. If you like Breath of the Wild and you want to play more Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom is just that. Just more Breath of the Wild. I'm really impressed with how they were able to make new abilities and make whole new puzzles and overhaul all the mechanics, all the traversal tools for getting through like Hyrule, because they used the same surface map, so they had to keep, or they had to preserve like a lot of the previously built structures and whatnot, and yet you have to solve all those puzzles with new tools. I thought they did an excellent job of just transferring the solutions to the new puzzles. And oh my gosh, talk about content. I'm going to assume you don't mind about spoilers if you're listening to this, but oh my gosh, they doubled the size of the game. I was blown away. So impressive. They have an overworld, which is just Hyrule, right? Same as the previous game. And then they have the depths, which is the same size as the overworld. It's just huge. It's massive. And then they have a few sky islands, which I kind of wish they did more with that, but the depths makes up for it. Easily makes up for that. I love, in the first game they had a few dark mechanics, like in the lizard, I can't remember its name, Daruk's Divine Beast. I loved that. That was my favorite beast because of the dark mechanic, how I had to slink around and figure stuff out with torches and flaming arrows. And the whole depths has that mechanic. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was the best. A lot of my favorite things in Breath of the Wild they took and expanded on in Tears of the Kingdom, like the darkness mechanic. And then like Eventide Island or the Trial of the Master Sword in Breath of the Wild 1. They made them into just shrine puzzles. So you enter a shrine and they take everything away from you. And then you just have to use what's in the shrine and your abilities to complete the shrine. Oh, it's so cool. Those were my favorites to do. Every time I walked into one, I do a little fist pump and get excited because it's so fun. And I think there's 152 shrines now. Woo-wee. That's a lot. There's 120 in the first game, which is a lot. And then, they added 32 more. Goodness me. Like I said, if you like Breath of the Wild, it's just more Breath of the Wild. A lot of the shrines were, I don't know. I felt like the puzzles weren't as interesting, probably because there were just so many that they had to double up on some ideas, or maybe it was just because I had, found a shrine that I could traverse through this way, and this next shrine I found I could just do the same thing, so that's what I did. That could be it though. I don't know. I did have a blast. They added new enemies. What are they called? Gibbos? Something like that in the Gerudo Desert. Oh, those things are scary. They're so cool. it finally gave me an excuse to use elemental weapons. I didn't really use them in the first game, just because I liked the high damage numbers in my spin to win builds. But finally, I could use the Gliok horns and the wands and Ruji's lightning. I think that was my favorite ability. It's the one I used the most. That and Yunbo's, but I used his mainly for mining minerals because it doesn't break any of my weapons. The game is excellent though. Highly recommend it. I don't know if it's Game of the Year worthy. Not when there's like Hogwarts Legacy came out this year. Remnant 2 will be coming out, which I'm super excited for. I don't think that's probably going to win Game of the Year, but I love Remnant 1. Sorry, back to Tears of the Kingdom. What else is there to say? The building's interesting. I personally wasn't too invested in it. I just made the classic 2 fans and a control stick flying cycle. I just explored like that. I finished most of the game. I have to go back and get a bunch of Koroks so I can upgrade my inventory to max. I'm not going to get them all. I've heard they're in the triple digits or quadruple digits now. Yikes. That's a lot. But I got all the shrines. I got all the dark roots. I did defeat Ganondorf, which, by the way, rehydrated Ganondorf. Woo-wee. God damn. Nintendo sure knows how to make some sexy characters. Now my Switch is full of screenshots of Ganondorf during the cutscenes. The story was good too. A bit tragic. More people died than I expected. Usually Nintendo likes to keep it light. Well, maybe not. Some of their Zelda stories are pretty dark. I'm not a huge Zelda fan though, so I don't know. I don't know all the stories very well. But yeah, everything turned out well in the end. Ganondorf was defeated, or so we think. Maybe they'll make a trilogy in this. I don't know. I wouldn't mind that, but at the same time, what would they do? You know, because they've already recycled Hyrule twice. And I could definitely feel it when I'm exploring. Because I put like 500 hours into the first game. And to be honest, yeah, that's probably a bit much. But a lot of times I'd be running around and be like, I feel like I've been here before. And then I would check my hero's path. And technically I hadn't, but you know, I had on the other game. I don't know. I spent most of my time in the depths. It was just fun down there. With the darkness and a bunch of bosses and whatnot. Yeah. I did most of the game without looking stuff up. A few things I wanted. Like I wanted an attack up weapon set or armor set. So I did look up one of those. Then I looked up the last like 20 shrines. Just because again I played the living crap out of the first game. And I really wanted the ancient heroes aspect. That's pretty. And I'd rather equip it and run around with it while I still have stuff to do instead of, at the end of my playthrough. So I got that. I think I leveled it up. I think it's maxed. Took quite a few Gleoks to kill though. They're tough. I didn't like fighting them when I first found them, but after figuring some stuff out, they're not too bad. They're not like Lionels. I love fighting Lionels, but they have a lot of health. Not Lionels, Gleoks. Lionels do have a lot of health, but you can jump on their back and then it doesn't consume weapon durability. And then if you use a Durability, damage increase, weapon that's almost breaking, blah blah blah. Cool stuff happens, and you can annihilate them. I haven't set that up yet. I should. Specifically for killing Lionels. But yeah. I got most of the armor normally. Like I looked up where the chest piece for the miner set was, because I had literally pretty much everything else done. And I didn't ever use the miner set because I couldn't find the full pieces. Also, it's not great. Looks cool. I turned mine silver, so it looks kind of metally. New bosses were neat. The only new enemies were really the Gibitos down in the desert, but they had Franxes in the depths. Those are fun, at least for a bit. They're not too challenging. I saw that apparently if you throw a dazzle fruit on them, you can stun them. That's pretty cool. I haven't tried that yet. I should. That would make them much easier because their weak spot is actually pretty hard to hit because they're moving around a lot. And I'm not very good at aiming. I also saw that you can throw a dazzle fruit at like stall enemies. It'll instantly kill them. That's pretty cool. I just always forget because stall enemies are super annoying because they take a full durability and yet they only have 1 HP. Yick. But dazzle fruit fixes that, so I'll have to do that next time I run into some. Pretty cool. There's so many cool secret mechanics. I saw it just today on Reddit. In Breath of the Wild, if you carry a torch around, head to no village, the kids will follow you around. That's pretty neat. I bet you can do that in Tears of the Kingdom 2. That's just so cool. So many secret mechanics like that. I don't know. What else is there to talk about? All the characters got explored a bit more. I enjoyed like Yunbo. In the first game, he was he's cowardly. I mean, that was kind of his point because Daruk was brave and he was cowardly because they were all kind of opposite of their original champions, right? Like Mifa was timid, Sidon was sure of himself, Revolvi was arrogant, and I can't remember his name. Tulin's dad was reserved. But so in the first game, Yunbo was a bit cowardly. But when we meet him in this game, he's possessed. But two, when we free him, he's really grown as a character. I really like that. He actually became probably my favorite character. My favorite sage in this game. Because of how much he grew and how much the rest of the Gorons have become to rely on him for his good nature and his honest heart. That sounds cheesy. But it's true. I really like his character development. And they had a new bird, a Tulin. He's fine. I kind of thought it was a little goofy that we're recruiting child soldiers, but I probably shouldn't think that much into it. Same could be said for Ruji. I'm not sure how old she is. She's probably still a child. So the same thing could be said for her child soldier. But yeah, don't think about it too much. Yeah. Oh, the new aesthetic was Mayan? Incan? My history is not great. And my architectural history is not great. But it had the lines, like those big lines in the desert that make really cool pictures. They had obviously that. It was inspired by their geoglyphs. That was cool. But I did really like how all the armor, like what's it called? the battery upset. I can't remember what it's called right now. I thought that one was really pretty. It had the great big feather, almost looked like a Incan god or Mayan god. I don't know. Really pretty though. And all the enemies were kind of designed after that, because the new race up in the sky, that was their look, their aesthetic. I do think I liked the blue in the first game, the Sheikah look to all their robots and stuff. But it was also quite more prevalent in the first game. Because now in this game, there are only a few places where the robots are on the ground. Most of them are in the sky. And unfortunately, there's not much in the sky. There's a couple cool bosses up there, though. The constructs. They're all right. A bit easy. But Tears of the Kingdom isn't meant to be a hard game. It's meant to be a fun game. It's one of those games that I'll definitely fire up again and just run around and do nothing. Just chill. Like on a rainy day, I can go in the game and run around this grassy, sunny field. That'd be fun. Good job, Nintendo. You did good. Very good. And I would definitely say it's worth the $70. I was skeptical at first, but now that I got and played it, definitely worth it. Yeah.